Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are all doing well. We're starting out this video in my bathroom because I just got ready for the day and actually have, don't mind my messy bathroom, but I have a top on that I would have worn to Thanksgiving dinner had we gone somewhere, but instead I just chose to be in my comfy clothes all day on Thanksgiving Day, which was perfectly fine. Anywho, I did have an off-plan day on Thanksgiving Day, and let me just tell you guys, I did end up paying for it. I felt really sick Thursday night, on into Friday. I don't know if it's because I overdid it on the carbs or if because I truly had some sort of a bug going on. I'm really not sure, but whatever the case is, I'm so thankful that I feel better today. And I wanted to go ahead and make a broccoli casserole dish to go along with the leftover Thanksgiving turkey that we have from Thanksgiving, because of course turkey is, you know, low carb and it's pretty low in fat as well. So I think that the broccoli casserole that has a little bit of like cream cheese and different things in it will be a good side dish to have alongside the turkey. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I make the broccoli casserole recipe, go ahead and keep watching. And I just wanted to say, I hope that you all had a good Thanksgiving as well. So let's get on into this recipe. So here are some items that I put into my broccoli casserole. I do crumbled bacon, sharp cheddar cheese, some garlic, a block of cream cheese, salt and pepper, a little bit of sour cream, possibly some heavy whipping cream. I do really like to put some onion into mine as well, just to make things more flavorful. And then I have a couple different kinds of broccoli here. I have the like steam in a bag broccoli that's frozen, and then I also had some raw broccoli on hand as well, and I am going to use both for this recipe today. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get our onion cut up for our recipe. The onion is totally optional, just so you know. I like it because it just adds a lot more flavor to the recipe. So as I had stated in a recipe before, I do like to go ahead and cut through the onion once it's peeled one way, and then I turn it, I cut through the other way. I do not cut through the onion completely. I leave that base on there, and then if you flip it to the side and cut through, it makes perfect little chunks. And because the base hasn't been cut completely through, it really just helps kind of anchor that onion until you cut it all apart, if that makes sense. So we're gonna get this all cut up, and we will add this into our pan. All right, got about a tablespoon of butter in my pan, and it's starting to melt, and we're gonna go ahead and add our onion and cook those for about 4 to 5 minutes until they start to get a little translucent, a little bit of brown and caramelized looking. After several minutes, your onion should start to look a little bit like this, starting to get caramelized. Mine cooked a little faster than I thought they would actually. And then while those were cooking, I went ahead and I got one of my frozen bags of broccoli into the microwave. And I am also going to add to my pan the garlic. I have a little bit of garlic that is in a squeezy tube that I showed you guys at the beginning. I went ahead and put my onions to the side. I cut up my raw broccoli and put it into a pan with a little bit of water to get that steamed. Alright, so now that we have our broccoli cooked, we have the raw broccoli that I showed you at the beginning of the video steamed in a pan, and then I also have my 2 bags of frozen broccoli. I got those cooked up in the microwave as well. Again, you all can use whichever you prefer. If you want to use a combination of both like I did, that's fine. If you want to use all frozen broccoli, that's fine. I have done both before. It really does not matter. You just need to make sure that you have plenty of broccoli so that you can fill, say, a 9x12 pan, although the pan that I have that I'm using today is slightly smaller than that, but not by much. So just enough so that you can fill a 9x12-ish pan whenever you're done with everything. I have a block of softened cream cheese that I am going to add to my broccoli. And because the broccoli is still hot, that should help to melt the cream cheese as well. I'm going to add my crumbled bacon to my dish as well. I'm not really measuring things. I'm really kind of eyeballing, although I do have a half a cup measuring cup. I think I ended up using right around 3/4 of a cup, maybe closer to a cup of crumbled bacon. You certainly can go ahead and do fresh bacon as well. Cook it until crisp. That would be wonderful. Normally I would take the bacon, put it in a pan, and let it get a little crispy and then add it to the broccoli casserole. I didn't this time. I think it would have been even better. You'll see here on the video that next I did go ahead and grab the sharp cheddar cheese. I was going to add that at this time, but I decided against it and put my pan on the stove to get everything all nice and well incorporated, and then we will go ahead and add the cheese. There is no exact recipe that I'm following. I've made this so many times now. So I do have some sour cream here. I'm going to put about 3 heaping tablespoons in, and you'll see that a little later on in the video I do end up adding just a tad bit more of the sour cream. I wanted it to be a little bit more creamy, so went ahead and added that in, and then I decided to actually wait and add my cheese until after I put this back on the stove top and let it get a little melty. So I'm just adding some pepper here, and then I'm also going to add some of my Himalayan salt to the dish as well. And then we're going to go ahead and pop this onto the stove for a few and just get it all nice and well incorporated together. We're going to go ahead and turn this on medium heat. We'll get our fried onions that we set to the side earlier added into our dish as well, and I'm just going to get everything all nice and incorporated. Everything should really be starting to kind of melt together as it is already, because like I said, the broccoli was still really hot, so I know that that would have helped to melt the cream cheese. And I did realize as I was stirring everything together that I did have quite a bit of broccoli, so I did go ahead and add a little bit more sour cream into the dish just to make things a little bit more creamy so that things wouldn't dry out as we cook this. Really is the nice thing about this recipe is that you really just kind of eyeball things. Like I said, I don't follow an exact recipe. If you see that it's looking a little dry, add a little bit more cream cheese or sour cream. Now that we have our broccoli pulled off of the stove, we have our cream cheese and everything nice and incorporated. We're gonna go ahead and add our sharp cheddar cheese into the dish. I did end up using 2 heaping half of cups full of cheese. And again, this is totally preference. If you want yours more cheesy, less cheesy, you know what you need to do. Add more or less, whatever the case may be. So I got this all mixed up together, and we are going to then go ahead and add this into a dish to bake for a little while. This isn't, I was trying to see what the size of this one is. It's not your traditional, 9x13 baking pan or 9x12, whatever. I think it was a tad bit smaller than that, but it's a pretty deep pan. I did go ahead and spray mine with a little cooking spray and went ahead and got that added into the pan. We are then going to spread this around into the pan, make sure that it's all nice and even, and then we will go ahead and put a generous layer of cheddar cheese on top of everything as well. Adding a bit more of that sharp cheddar cheese, like I just said. I just eyeballed this. I did not measure it out. So just make sure that you put a nice layer on top. And to be honest with you, this was like the fine shredded cheese. But if you had the thicker shredded cheese, I think that would be even better. But I went ahead and put a little bit more salt and pepper on top. I do personally like everything to be very well seasoned when I'm making a casserole dish like this. And I did decide to go ahead and put a little bit of crumbled bacon on top too. I do not always do that, but today I felt like doing that, so I did add that onto the top as well. And so this is what things are looking like. I'm gonna pop this into a oven at 375 degrees. And I think I ended up cooking this for right around 40 minutes. This is what things are looking like once I pulled my broccoli casserole from the oven. Looks really good. I'm gonna let this sit and cool down a bit. After I let things cool down for a little bit, I did go ahead and cut a piece of the broccoli casserole. I could have honestly let this cool down even a bit longer, because the more that it kind of sits and cools down, the better it all holds together. So, I mean, honestly, it held together just fine, but had I let it sit for just a little bit longer, it would have held together even more. So, as you can see, it is still piping hot, but this is what things are looking like after I cut a piece of it. So, so good. Highly recommend. And as you can see, this really does make a nice large pan full. Just wanted to hop back on here real quick, guys, and tell you thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. One thing that I did forget to mention in the video is that I have previously added ground sausage or ground hamburger to the dish to make it more of its own entree versus it being a side dish. So that is something that you can do as well. But I am getting ready to call it a night. Excuse me, hence while I'm in my messy closet and I'm gonna change into some comfy clothes, but I wanted to hop on here and just say thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching the video. If you feel so inclined to subscribe, I would love for you to do so. That way you don't miss the next video that I post. If you want to like or leave a comment, that would be great to know that I should keep continuing with these videos. Okay guys, thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.